2 videos ago, I made a video about maximizing the time and energy, and we do that through effectiveness, through efficiency, and through focus. I just filmed a video about the effectiveness. I think that is uploaded yesterday when you're watching this. Now let's talk about efficiency. And efficiency is all about creating a system. And a system is a routine of habits that will lead you towards your goal. And let me explain this by the following. I'm pretty sure all of you once in your life had a job. And when like if it is a 9 to 5 or even a side job. But the point is, when you went through your job for the first time, it was really uncomfortable and you didn't know what to do, and it was just really slow and you were not good at it. But then somebody else just explains you everything. He walked you through the whole day. Okay, this is what you do, this is what you do, this is how the programs work, this is how this works, this is how that works. And over time, it starts to become easier. You start to work more efficient because you get used to the system. You do it every day, it becomes a habit. So eventually you don't have to think about it anymore. And that will increase both the speed and the quality of your work. And it will also allow you to become way more creative. Now, when you have your own business, there are the upsides and there are the downsides. The upside is that you can create your own system. You can create your own routine of habits that is perfectly fit to you. Like you can take a walk like in the middle of the day, for example, and yeah, like something that is perfectly fit to you. The downside is that you don't have someone who will walk you through there and through the entire system, and you have to figure it out all on your own. So that is why I'm making this video. What I will do is basically I will walk you through my system, what I do throughout the day, to basically give you some inspiration. And you can first copy it, but of course, everyone is different. Like you need to iterate a bit on it to make it more perfectly fit to you. But I am using some principles that I think it's applicable to like everyone. So yeah, this is how my day looks like. I basically work in 3 different blocks. I have a creative block, maintenance, wait, this is not right. How do you write this again? What am I doing? Maintenance. I don't know how you write it, to be honest. Well, this is embarrassing. I promised myself that I will do one take only. So yeah, like maintenance. You get what I mean. The third block is calls. Okay, so in the last video, I talked about like the effectiveness, the figuring out the daily fundamentals, the tasks that you have to do every day in order to achieve the results. If you haven't watched this, then pause this video, go to that, because that will explain exactly what you have to do. And basically, once you do that, you have like a list of tasks that you have to do. And I divide those tasks into 3 blocks of work. So first is the creative block. In the creative block, what I do is the attract phase, for example, the attracting, that the first principle we talked about in last video. So that is, for example, making videos. Also, I'm making posts on school. And these things of course break down into further things, because if you want to make a video, you need to have an ID, you need to create an outline, you need to actually film the video, and you need to edit it. When you have to write a post, you have to first of all also the ID, second is the outline, third is the writing, fourth is the editing, and also the posting. You basically get the point. So in the first work block, the creative work block, which lasts for 2 hours, I complete all of these actions. And what actions I do, I basically plan the night before, because in the morning you don't want to think about, oh yeah, what should I do? You like, if you already plan your day the night before, then it removes the decision fatigue in the morning, and you can wake up and immediately start working on these tasks, because you want to maximize your time and energy, and in the morning you don't want to spend energy thinking about what you should do. You already have to have that done beforehand. But yeah, like in the 2-hour work block, I complete all of these tasks. The maintenance tasks is also 2 hours. And what I do here is things like responding to clients, what else do? I do the networking, and I do like the outreach. And of course, these things, there are different things. There are like watching calls, for example, for the clients. There are responding to them on Telegram, and etc. For networking, the same thing, and for outreach, also the same thing. All of these tasks I do in the second work block, which is the maintenance work block. And the third work block is the calls, and that is basically 4 hours. I have 4 calls pretty much every single day, back to back to back. That is from the late afternoon until like the evening. So I have calls with different, well, I have calls with clients, of course. I have calls with my mentors. And I have like random networking calls. And yeah, so basically it is really important to batch similar types of tasks, to batch creative tasks, to batch maintenance tasks, and to batch like social tasks, like calls, for example. And I will explain exactly why. Okay, so your brain, what you have to understand is that your brain works in different kinds of wavelengths. When you're doing certain things, it works in different kinds of wavelengths, and there are 2 that I want to talk about. There is the focused and the active. The focused basically looks like this. The active, it looks like this. So we want to maximize our time and energy, because time and energy are like the most valuable resources that we have. So we need to maximize it. And when you wake up, for example, okay, so first of all, we need to maximize time and energy, is what I said. And when you are switching from a focused wavelength to an active wavelength, it costs energy. So every time you switch from focus to active, or from active to focus, especially from active to focus, it requires energy. And the energy, we don't want to waste it. So what we want to do is minimize the time that we switch from focus to active. And the reason I do creative tasks first thing in the morning is because when you wake up, your brain is in this focused state. So when you're in this focused state, the worst thing that you can do is instantly check social media or check your phone, for example, even if it's productive work and client work. Because what you're doing is immediately you're switching from a focused task to an active task. And then it becomes really, really difficult to go back to a focus task, for example. So in the first 3 hours that I am awake, I still keep my phone in airplane mode. Like, I literally can't get distracted, because if you check notifications, for example, you will get distracted and your brain will turn into this active state. So first, when my brain still is in a focused state, I do all of the creative tasks like writing, like filming videos, for example, etc. Once these are done, then I can switch over to the active state. So the maintenance tasks and the social work that requires my brain to be more active, for example. So yes, you want to minimize between those two things. And that is also why deep work is so incredibly important, because what deep work basically means is getting a work block of 2 hours, for example. You just set a timer and you don't even look at the timer before the 2 hours are up. And when the timer goes off, you immediately have to stop. Even though you're in flow state, you have to stop. You have to discipline yourself to not go over the time that you've agreed upon. And in this 2-hour work block, there are absolutely no distractions. Like I said, phone is in airplane mode, your environment is really optimized, and you don't do anything else except the task. Because, like I said, when you're working and your brain is in this focused state, if you get distracted, your brain goes to the active state, and then it takes a lot of time and energy to go back to the focus state. So yes, that is basically why I do what I do. And this is how you work very efficient, and this is how you basically increase both the speed and the quality of your work. So yeah, bye.